Well, the first thing I want to clear up is that when we got that message in class about failure to converge, it was a real failure. And I'm not sure what all of you were seeing, but the model really did not work. To make it work, what I had to do, turns out there was a lot of collinearity. And to make it work, what I did is I had to remove 1, 2, 3 of the quantitative variables to get this thing to work. Then after it works, let's just source this thing and let's look at the result. Now that's a nice AUC curve. And I want to, the positive level in this case is actually other. It's not Setosa. And let me show you what happens if you create that AUC curve with Setosa. So let's take that and let's run it. You get an extremely low value of the AUC value, 0.0589. Your ROC curve is below the diagonal. It's not above it where it should be. So how did it turn out that other was the correct positive value? So I've been going by a rule which I had used in other cases, other implementations of GLM, and turns out not to be true with this implementation of GLM. And that is that the highest level will be the one that is predicted by the GLM model, or the one that you're looking for in the GLM model. And if I look at this thing, if I look at levels of my underscore IR, dollar species, I see that other is the first level, not the second level, but it is definitely the positive level. So where did I took that rule from another implementation of GLM that I've been working with, and it seemed to be confirmed by what I saw with the gender prediction problem, which is that male was the positive value. And let's take a look at that. You see that male is actually the first level, not the second level. So the thing is that in the CDC2, gender did not follow the normal process of having levels in alphabetical order, which would have been FM. And here, let's convert the factor back to a character, and then create the factor variable, and then look at the levels. That turns out to be FM. That's the default way to create factors. So let's look at what happens here. What happens is that somebody decided when they created that CDC2 data set that the first factor level should be M and the second one should be F. And we can do it that way just by, instead of just doing the simple factor CDC2 gender, use the levels option to override the default, and that's what happens. So that explains why the proper rule is that with this implementation of GLM is that the first level of the factor is the positive value. Unlike what I've seen in other implementations of GLM, where the second value is the positive factor. In other implementations, I've tended to avoid this confusion by creating a Boolean. In this case, I might create a Boolean called is underscore male, which is true if you're male, false if you're female. And in other implementations of GLM, you could use a Boolean as the outcome variable, but in this implementation of GLM, you can't. Okay? Anyway, you've got the rules straight now.